Hey y'all, I have a question for you. Well, actually, it's pretty rhetorical because I already know the answer, at least for myself. Now, I'm on the 15 North, and I have, about 46 miles left before I get on the 60. But anyway, the question is this: is it possible to be and feel two ways at the same time? Now, what made me think about this was how excited I get to go on a little trip. And it doesn't matter, I went to Hollywood the other day. It was about, hour and a half, 2 hours. And now I'm going to Palm Springs, and that's a little over 2 hours. And I freaked out a minute ago, you guys. I was thinking about the times in my life that I felt different. I felt two ways about the same thing at the same time. I don't know, it's confusing. But anyway, it just all of a sudden, I felt like I had forgotten Hazel. And I would have had to go back and get her. But I looked down, and here she is. She's just laying in her bed, taking a nap. So anyway, as long as I can remember, y'all, I have always moved. From the time I was really little. I was born in Maine. My mother met and married my dad up there, and he was from Oklahoma, so we moved to Oklahoma, and then they got a divorce, and I moved back to Maine, and then she got married again, and we moved to Texas, and then we moved to Arkansas, and blah, blah, blah. And I have told y'all before that when I was a kid, I would come home sometimes, and my mother would be in full packing mode. There'd be boxes in every room of the house, and she'd be putting stuff in them. And we'd get home from school and see all of this, and she'd say, "Well, we're moving, y'all." And I'd be like, "Well, we're going back to school tomorrow to say goodbye, aren't we?" No, we don't have time for that. I called the school. Our parents were definitely not thinking about their children. That was so devastating to me, because normally I hadn't been at that school very long and had just made friends. I was always the new girl in class. It was awful. So anyway, we would be moving. Now, here's kind of what I'm talking about. I would be crying and carrying on and wanting to go back to school one more day and having a fit. But as soon as we loaded up and got on the road, I put that stuff behind me, and I was so excited to be going somewhere new. Now, that doesn't mean, y'all, that down the road, I didn't cry some and feel sorry for myself and angry at my parents. But I was generally excited. I was really getting into it. I couldn't stay with my face out of the car window. I wanted to see where we were going. I wanted to help pick out the new house. I was very old for my age, y'all. But anyway, I was excited. And I've been that way my whole life. I may have kicked and screamed against moving. Even when I was married, I didn't want to move. But once we got going, I got into it 100%. When I had Tank, I came down to California sooner than I was really going to, because y'all know my friend was fighting cancer. and she was going through chemo. And of course I came down here to help her. But when I had Tank, I always wanted to Google the smallest town in a 100-mile radius. And I wanted to go there. I just wanted to go there and check it out, see what it looked like, see what the streets looked like, the houses, what did the center of town look like. I've always loved to move around, y'all, no matter how much I hated it. Now, when husband number 4 got out of officer candidate school, OCS as they call it, he was in the top 2 of his class, graduating class. So they got to pick their next duty station. Now, they wanted him to go. We were in North Carolina, South Carolina. I can't remember exactly which one of those Carolinas we were at. But anyway, they wanted him to go to a place called Cherry Point. So we drove over there. It was in the state. And we drove over there, and I was like, oh no, oh no, 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 no. I do not want to live here. You know, there's a lot of cold, a lot of hot and humid, snow, all those kinds of things that I had gotten spoiled because we had lived in California for years. So needless to say, for me, he chose California. So we came back home. And I've lived here most of the time over the last 34 years, 34, 35 years. But I have moved a lot to a different city, different town, changed jobs, just, you know, all kinds of reasons. I've lived in Washington 3 different times. But I can't help wanting change. And I don't know what that is. Is it because I'm not satisfied with myself? I'm not satisfied with where I am? Do I think the grass is greener on the other side? I don't know, y'all. I've always wanted, since I was a little kid, to settle down in one place and never move again. I wanted all my relatives to be around me. I wanted my grandmother. I wanted my aunts and uncles and cousins. I wanted everybody to be in one place. But dang, that truck is right on my butt. I don't know why he's doing that. There's traffic in front of me. It's not like I can speed them up. I've just got this big old grill right in my rear view mirror. And he can go around, for Pete's sakes. There's like 6 lanes on this freeway. But anyway, I don't know why that is, y'all. And I've talked to psychologists about it before, and they say that's part of your ADHD, not being able to settle down and be in one place, have constant long-term relationships, have jobs that you've held for years and years. So it all plays into that a lot. But maybe it's because I did move so much when I was a child. And I'm still torn. Part of me would love to get in my van and find some little old town. Find an abandoned little house out in the field and see if I couldn't settle there for a while. It's crazy, y'all. My mind just goes 90 miles an hour most of the time. like that, but it's always been that way. Always been that way. Now, thank goodness I have good medication and I don't get manic anymore like I used to, which means you are on overdrive. You cannot sit still. You cannot sleep. You're always taking on big projects. You have these feelings of euphoria, like you could do anything. You can do anything you want. And I'm telling y'all, that's pretty crazy. I mean, it's fun in a way, but then when you crash from that, it's horrible. It's really horrible. And that's why I tell people all the time, you have got to take your medication. You cannot screw around with it when you have things like bipolar, schizophrenia, chronic depression, ADHD. You have to be consistent. So anyway, y'all, I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I think most of y'all are pretty content to be where you are. At least that's the feeling I get. Some of y'all want to get on the road, but I think the majority of you have been married a long time, which I so envy that. Y'all don't get on to me, okay? But I love hearing that y'all have been married a long time. Everybody's slowing down, y'all, because there's a highway patrol right here. I don't get that, really. But anyway, a lot of y'all are settled, and you've been in the same place for a long time, and you're snug as a bug in a rug. And I've always wanted to be that way, but I've never been able to. And that's why I keep praying that God is going to provide Mary Jo and I a place where we can live and be stable and be permanent, y'all. I really, really do want that. Now, I hope this policeman does not see me making this video and take exception to it. I think he's getting off on this exit. Nope. So I'm going to shut up for now, y'all, and I'll talk to you later.